this organization has evolved in the past 18 years from an organization that did affordable housing the old-fashioned way to an organization that is pretty much at the cutting edge of how communities address the homeownership problem in this country.
My husband's from Mexico originally. We met down there. Diego was born there. We lived there for about 5 years, and it got difficult. The economy was difficult. Things were changing pretty rapidly. And so we had the opportunity to come here as a family and work at getting citizenship. And so we took it. Here's our kitchen and eating area. We used to live in Santa Fe, New Mexico. We lived there for quite a few years, and there was a similar program in Santa Fe that we looked into, but we kind of knew that we didn't want to live in the desert. And so we started looking for a new place to go and found Chapel Hill and came out here, got jobs, and lived in an apartment for a while. And I thought we'd do some research to see if there were a similar program here, and found Community Home Trust. And I saw that a particular house was listed on their website, and so we drove by it, and it was kind of funny. We drove by it and I felt like that was our house. So I contacted Community Home Trust about the house, and we were sure that it would have a waiting list, and actually it wasn't available at the time. But we waited, and it became available, and we went through the application process, and sure enough, it became our house.
Yeah.
My story begins in the mid-1980s. I came to Chapel Hill to go to the university. Really liked the area. So I started looking into maybe finding a house around town. And I was shocked to find out how much or how expensive that real estate in the Chapel Hill, Carborough area was. I mean, really shocked. I gave him a call, talked to him, and just was really shocked and amazed that there was something like that out there. They had me come by, looked at all my financial information, said, you know, you're definitely qualified to be one of our clients. So they brought me in. They wanted to show me some properties. The very first property they showed me was this Greenbridge condominium, which had just opened like maybe like a month prior to that. And I was like, man, this is like the coolest thing ever. So I was like, yeah, if you guys can get me into this, I'd love to be here. And like a month later, they said, hey, when do you want to get in? You know, we're ready to close. And that was it. And been happy ever since.
Yeah, cool.
And then of course this is where we like to cook. We actually have meatballs cooking. And I love this countertop to be able to put candles on. The living room and downstairs bathroom is right there, which is kind of nice. But sometimes people, are like, oh my gosh, it's right there. Thanks to everything.
Right across the street from the gym as well, which is very nice. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, started in Charlotte. I was going to UNC Charlotte. I graduated in May 2010. Matt decided, or the boyfriend decided that, I'm going to apply to UNC Chapel Hill, and if I get in, I'll go. And, he asked me to come along because we had been dating about 5 years, so I got lucky and got to come try a new city because I was born and raised in Charlotte. Let's go on a tour of the new house.
So the area is very expensive, and it wasn't feasible for us kind of beginning our careers to buy a house in this area. So luckily I ran into someone that had worked with the Community Home Trust before, that had actually lived in one of these units here. And he told me about it, and I inquired about it, and within about 2 weeks we were kind of set up in the program. Helped with some financial counseling, with some credit issues we had in the past, and we ended up within about 6 months being able to kind of buy a house, and it was awesome. It's great to have that kind of financial flexibility.
And we get to live in an area where homes are $400,000. It makes me feel like, oh, sweet, very special.
The shocking thing about Community Home Trust is the people who work there. This is an amazing group of people. I mean, there's like the most friendly people. I've never seen people so upbeat. They are definitely concerned about affordable housing in the community, and even more so, I think they're more concerned about the people.
We would not be able to afford a home here. And I think that I would have been, I mean, we chose Chapel Hill specifically instead of any of the surrounding areas. But if I wanted to have a chance to buy a home, I would have had to go somewhere else. And even then, I think it would be a scarier process. Since this is our first home, it was really helpful to have Community Home Trust support and guidance throughout the entire process.
There's lots of stories like that, but that's a story of many families in America. It might have been the story, your story, it's my story. Our families settled down in a place, bought a home, and raised their children. And that's what we want for our families.